Hi everybody. How are you doing? Good. My name is Stephanie Curie. I am the founder of YouSpoke.org. My story begins in 2006, but actually my story begins at the very beginning of my life, in fact. I was born in my father's arms. Afterwards, he held me, and he had a deep appreciation for me being a baby that had kind of struggled, given my mom a few issues. Sorry, Mom. But my dad always told me that he was so happy that I was here. I did a lot of fighting to get here, and I think I was a little bit special to him in that way. And my dad actually also asked my mom for a second child. He really wanted 2 children, always did. And so my mom said, all right. And after a little bit of struggle, I actually made it. And I could not be more happy to be here. I had a great childhood. My childhood was very happy, the happiest times of my life, 100%. And I definitely attribute that very much to my father and everything that he did for me. But my father had a struggle of his own, and a struggle that he wore inside and not outside. And he was handed an unlucky card of depression and anxiety, OCD. And unfortunately, unbeknownst to me and my family, this pain became too great for him that it brought him to a point where he felt like he didn't want to be here on earth anymore. So on October 12th, I returned home from an overseas trip, 2006, and I found out that my father had killed himself. He didn't leave me a note. He didn't say goodbye. It was a very devastating feeling. You don't leave dance rehearsal, you don't leave class, you don't leave your family dinners, you never leave without saying goodbye. How exactly does one walk out the door of your life and never again say anything? That was a huge feeling of betrayal that I knew I had to get over. And after a few struggling months, I realized that it was up to me, it was in my power and my power only, to get better. And so I made a conscious effort, a promise to myself, that I would find healing. I realized that there was no better. There was no day that I would wake up and I was just okay with my dad committing suicide. It would never be that. So what exactly could I do? It was just a constant goal to always be doing a little bit better. And 2 years after my dad died, I had this idea to start a nonprofit. I felt like therapy was a good option for me particularly. And medication is fine if that's something that you want to do, but something that seemed lacking was an outlet, a community of people that had been affected, that could share their stories openly and freely without the fear of judgment, without the stigma attached, without feeling like people might be judging my dad for what he did and how he left us, instead of how he was this amazing optometrist that took care of his family. I was afraid. And I thought that there was a conversation that needed to be started. So in 2009, 2010, I started YouSpoke.org. And YouSpoke.org is a non-for-profit. It cultivates a community for those affected by suicide by offering them a creative outlet to share their story, whether it's poetry, dance, music, video, textile, culinary. There are really endless possibilities. And that's the nice thing, you never have to operate inside of one box. You just freely express yourself however you want to. And so that's what we're doing today. We're doing a celebration of life to all those people that we've lost. We're celebrating the lives of those people who have struggled or contemplated or attempted suicide. And we're also here for people who are just supporting the cause. Maybe you know a friend that's lost a loved one. Maybe you have helped a family member through. We all exist under the same umbrella, all just affected. We can learn from each other's stories. So people were asking me why I started this organization and why I decided to name my first fundraiser Welcome Home. And the answer to that is, when I lost my dad, I felt very much that my childhood was tainted. I couldn't listen to songs from my childhood. I couldn't even walk down the street and see a child playing with their dad and feel genuinely happy for that child. I was bitter, and it was concerning me. I'm usually a pretty positive person, but that was something inevitable that came about. And for a long time, I really felt like my sense of home was lost. This feeling that I had in my heart when my dad was alive, it was gone. The house that I grew up in was occupied by a different family. And then the one house that my mom and dad lived in the last few days of his life, my mom moved out of. So for me, this event is called Welcome Home because we're welcoming you into this safe space where we've all been able to openly and freely share our stories and share movement to you through dance. And that's what this show is about. The more that I continue on with YouSpoke.org, the more that I feel like I find this place and this sense of home that went missing in 2006. So I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. You truly are family here, and you are family to YouSpoke.org now as well. I hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to show you a brief promo, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you.